Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, doing good.
Good. Yeah, your presentation looks awesome. And I would start my video, but I look awful. And it's just like a
Okay.
Friday work from home day. So
That's what it is for me too. So
you look great.
thank you.
Yeah, I probably won't sit in on this just because I have a bunch of stuff to do. I'm taking next week off. But it looks like it's recording. It looks like folks are able to get in. Are you able to let people in, or is that working for you?
I don't really know how to do that. Sorry, one second.
Yeah, I think at the bottom menu, there's like a participants thing.
Oh, okay.
And I see it was so weird with one of the students, it would not take his email at all. So I added him as a co-host.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah, I don't see that.
You don't? Okay.
I just see our two names, but I don't know if there's just like nobody in or like
Sure. I see two people in the waiting room, so I'll just stick around. And if I hear
okay.
someone come in, then
Okay.
I'll admit them now. And I'm just gonna mute myself, but I'll let folks in as they come through.
Sound.
About 11 people registered, but that doesn't mean that they will show up. So I would give it a couple minutes, and then just, get started around maybe 10:35 or so.
Perfect. Sounds good. We are going to be starting in about 2 minutes here. I'm just waiting to see because we have 11 participants registered. So we're going to see and give them a couple more minutes before we start. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Hi. We are going to get started here since it's 5 after now. And I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Sophia Schwartz, and I am a recent graduate from University of Oregon, where I studied human physiology and chemistry. And in the past year, I was able to become a Gilman Alumni Ambassador. And so that position has allowed me to present to individuals and universities throughout the state and the Pacific Northwest. And today, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the Gilman Scholarship and what to expect if you're looking into applying and how the process works. I have a little presentation prepared, and that'll take about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'll open it up for questions and provide my email and contact information if you have any follow-on questions during your application process. So yeah, we'll get started here. I'm going to screen share. All right. Alrighty. And you guys can see everything okay for that? All right. Great. Thank you. Alrighty. So the Benjamin Gilman International Scholarship Program. To start off, just like the technical aspect of Benjamin is it's related to the government's foreign aid policies. So they get like all of their funding from the US Department of State. And it's in order to cultivate international education and affairs through foreign ties and networks. So a lot of their mission is to provide personal relationships with US students and other countries. And they have a long list of countries that they advocate for funding for Gilman and the Bureau of Cultural Affairs and Education. So that's the technical aspect of it. And moving forward, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my program experience. In 2023, for the year, I studied abroad in rural Italy through the Gilman International Scholarship Program, where I completed 4 healthcare rotations at a local hospital. I was able to practice my language skills and focus on global health disparities and work in a setting that was different from serving in the United States. So that was very awesome for my experiences and like just understanding like how we can engage meaningfully in the world and broaden our perspective. The Gilman program really made this possible for me because of global education access for Pell eligible students like myself. I think without this program, I wouldn't have been able to have this opportunity, and I was able to select a program that resonated with my interests and what I wanted to do with my career. So as you can see in the right side, my friend and I are all scrubbed in to go and observe an open heart surgery, and we're throwing up our University of Oregon O here. And the Gilman application is a little bit of a process, but it is something that there's lots of resources at your university for. There's usually a lot of advisors that are able to help you and guide you through the process, and a lot of peers that you'd be surprised are applying with. I made a lot of friends throughout my application process. I worked really closely with my study abroad advisor, Ryan, at University of Oregon, and I had several drafts of my essays that helped me refine my service project proposal. And part of my service project proposal, as you've seen through the application, is giving back to your community in a way. And I was able to do that by becoming a peer advisor at my university in undergrad for a short while to help others apply for this program and work with Gilman and get other people involved. I already talked a little bit about my program, but I was able to intern at a small hospital in northern Italy where I observed patient care and helped with non-clinical tasks and shadowed in cardiothoracic, general surgery, OBGYN, and pediatrics. And as I was saying, it was able to Gilman. I wouldn't have been able to do this without Gilman. So it really solidified my passion for medicine and health equality and gave me confidence to pursue a career that I was already focused on while aiding me in my language skills, which we will talk a little bit about moving forward. Overall, the Gilman program is for Pell eligible students in the United States. So, as you know, with your financial aid package, you'll know if you're receiving that. Over half or 55% of our students are first generation college students. 70% come from small towns and rural communities in the US. And there's over 44,000 alum for Gilman, which is an absolutely vast network that I was not aware of until I was an ambassador for this program, which is another thing to look forward to if you apply. There's over 170 countries of study that Gilman endorses, and there's 1,400 colleges and universities across the United States that Gilman um, communicates with. So that can be anywhere from like big universities to like community colleges. It really is just a vast array of people that are connected to Gilman. And for the program eligibility, we talked a little bit about the Pell eligible aspect of Gilman, but there's a couple of other items. You have to be a US citizen or national in your undergrad degree, federal Pell eligible recipient. The program that you're applying for must be credit bearing. So that can be a minimum of 1 to whatever credits, however long you're there for. And the program must be in a country that is a travel 1 or 2 advisory. And to find that out, you can either just kind of look up your specific country, and Gilman also has a database with that information that's regularly updated. And there's no minimum program length, which is awesome. You can go for a couple of weeks. Our program was a month. I know people who went for over a year and had a great time. So it's really, there's a lot of flexibility that exists in the program. Related to that is the Gilman McCain Scholarship, which is a $5,000 scholarship to study and intern abroad, with the requirements that were aforementioned, but also related to this specific scholarship is the child must be, or the student must be a child or just spousal dependent of U.S. military personnel and be receiving any type of Title IV federal financial aid. So I have some resources if you're interested in that specifically. And I also have peers that I work with who specialize specifically in Gilman McCain scholarship applications, if that's something that resonates with you. The eligibility is similar to the Gilman, except for the Title IV federal financial aid. And the Gilman Scholarship is up to $5,000 for any term abroad. That's fall, spring, summer, winter, and J term, or the whole academic year, which is just fabulous for whatever you're wanting to do. I would highly recommend the Critical Need Language Award. I was in Italy, which is not a listed language on here, but a lot of my peers were part of this program and they had an amazing time. And they got to visit some really unique countries that otherwise I don't think they would have been able to visit. This program application requires an extra essay for Gilman, but you can access up to $3,000 additional dollars to study abroad with proficiency testing. So it's very much worth it. Yeah, it's awesome. I think this is a really great program. And if you're a part of it, I've heard they have really great merch that they give out to their students as well. So that's a plus. Additionally, there's the STEM Supplemental Award, which was really helpful for my application process. It is also an extra essay. However, it awards you up to $1,000 extra dollars for any STEM related fees that might apply, such as lab fees, transportation, printing costs, any of the extra costs that incur with your research that you're doing while you're abroad. So I think they really cover all the bases with this, and it just kind of helps supplement everything that you're already doing in your program. Definitely something that surprised me about Gilman was how extensive the alumni program was. I originally was not aware of this, and then when I got the scholarship and applied to be an alum ambassador, which I am now, I realized that there was thousands of individuals who were Gilman alum doing vast majorities of things all over the United States. And they had amazing connections for me in my programs. And we even got to, 15 of us were selected to meet in DC this past summer and work together to kind of understand the opportunities that exist for the Gilman Scholarship Network. And I got to make some really great connections through that. So that's something you can look forward to. Gilman is kind of a continued process after you finish. So it's something that you can choose to be a part of after your program is even over. And there's a lot of special events, careers, workshops all over the country. I know there are some in Portland, mostly Seattle. I'm trying to get the Portland group to integrate a little bit more. So hopefully that's something to look forward to. But it is an extensive network. And something that is also awesome is there's non-competitive eligibility for federal positions. So a lot of my peers who are in law or other aspects like that were able to get jobs in DC or other parts of the country where they were in non-competitive eligibility. So they were picked at the very top of the list for positions otherwise um, that they may have not considered. And overall, the application process, I would recommend starting as soon as possible. Right now, we are not in the October deadline, but we're moving a little bit towards the March deadline. Um, this is for the follow on year. So you would apply in mid January. It's when the application opens, and your deadline is March 5th, Pacific time, 11:59 p.m. And your advisor needs to certify this by March 12th. So you have to get somebody else your reference for that. But I would recommend starting as soon as possible if you're aware that this is something you want to do, because you really want to be able to put your time and effort into your essays because the advisors really do read those and go into a lot of depth and consideration in this process. So I think that that's definitely something I would recommend starting over Christmas break if you're looking for this application. If not, summertime. Give yourself plenty of time. Don't go up until March 4th for sure. But let me know if you have questions about that timeline because it changes a little bit for each term as well. I have some application tips that exist from my peers. So I had one of my friends say, start the application early, be your true self, and have confidence that you are worthy. And this is so true because if you are genuine in your essays and they resonate with who you are as an individual, they will be able to see that and you'll go far. And if you don't apply, you'll never get it. So just try, do your best, and just know that there's people on the other side who are understanding. And I have some application resources that exist through Gilman if you want to take a picture of this, or I can share it after the presentation. There's a huge website, gilmanscholarship.org, that has a lot of resources and testimonies and different information. They run these Zoom Ask Me Anythings that I sometimes take a part of, and it's just like a very casual hop on Zoom, ask questions about your application. You can type it in the chat, you can ask questions out loud online. And for me, when I was applying, this was really, really helpful in kind of understanding what I was doing alongside, school and other things. So it was helping keep on track. And they also have a YouTube website for recordings and more tips that exist. And here I just have the vast amount of information that they have. They have LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, email, all of that information. It's one of the cute little DC groups from one of the past years, but yeah, it's a great network. So yeah. And I will open it up to any questions. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat, say them out loud. And I can also leave my contact information if you think of stuff later as well.
We'll be sending out the recording. And Sophia, some people, I got an email during this, and a couple of people weren't able to join for some reasons. So we will be sending out the recording. And in that email, I'll also send, I don't know if you had included any other additional information, but I'll include anything additional in that, as well as a link to, we have some videos on our YouTube channel and stuff. So, but yeah, now is a great time. You have Sophia here to ask these questions. So ask away if you have any questions.
I've got a question. What is the process for connecting with an advisor for this purpose?
So at PSU, at least, you will want to speak with Rachel Landers, and I'll include her information in the email. Rachel is our senior education abroad advisor, and she does review and manage all of the Gilman applications for PSU students. Have you
Awesome.
spoken with her yet, by any
I
chance?
have not. Yeah, this is my first introduction to
Oh,
the
cool.
scholarship. So yeah, thank
Great. Yeah, I'll include Rachel's info in there.
Yeah, definitely use your university's resources because it was very helpful for me. And I was also able to learn about other scholarships like within my university that I qualified for. So I think that that was something that was helpful as well.
Avit, did you also, were you having trouble joining earlier?
I was, yeah, but I was
Okay.
able to get in not on the Zoom app, but using Chrome for whatever reason. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Zoom is sometimes very finicky. So sorry about that. I actually heard from like
Yeah.
three other people so far that weren't able to join because it just wouldn't let them. And I know Jan Knight, we also that was also a really odd thing. We couldn't join, but
Yeah,
anyway,
no
glad you're
worries. Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
I have a question.
Yeah,
And this might not even apply, but does the Gilman or do you know of any city of God that it allows or includes any children? Or, um,
I'm sorry, that includes any children?
yeah, to come with you or dependent.
I don't know for sure. I think that that would definitely be a question for specifically Gilman. Um, I could find out and get back to you about that, but I do know just one of my peers was took her kid with her to Costa Rica when she studied abroad. So I could connect you with information regarding that, but I don't know about the funding purposes of it as far as that goes. So that's a good question, but yeah, I think definitely following up with like the advisors for that, and also that's something you could write about in your essay too. That might be set you apart and be an interesting topic to speak about.
yeah, and I don't know if I quite heard the question, but was she asking if the funding takes into account if you're bringing children with you?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that either, but Rachel May, our education abroad advisor at PSU, she might know that. And it also just kind of depends on the program. Do you know which program you're going on yet, or have you decided?
No,
Okay.
but thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any more questions today?
Yeah. If there are not any other questions, then I would say you guys have all just gained a half an hour of time. Um, Yeah. Is there, yeah, really no other questions? Do you know where the Ed Abroad office is at PSU? All of this will be in the email, but we are on the sixth floor of the Carl Miller Center. That's where the School of Business is, the big fancy shiny building right across from Smith. We do ask if possible that you make an appointment because we're a small office. So, but yeah, Rachel would probably be the person you'll be talking to, Rachel Landers.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to do more events as the deadline gets closer. And I am in the Portland area, so I might do something in person as well. So keep eyes out for emails from Sky or Rachel regarding that. So yeah, thank you guys so
Thank
much.
Yeah,
you.
and Sophia, do you think you'll be doing another session with us, like via PSU?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to
Okay.
follow up and do one in January as well as the
Okay,
March deadline gets a little bit more real. So yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and be sure to keep all of you guys on that list in case you want to join again. And otherwise, like I said, I'll post this to our YouTube channel and just send out a follow-up email before the end of today.
Yeah, and I see another question in the chat asking about other scholarships besides Gilman.
Oh
Um,
yeah, there's yeah, Sophia, maybe do you want to talk to that a little bit? And then I can or
Yeah, regarding other scholarships, I was able to talk to my advisor who was walking me through some of the other things that I qualified for. So I was able to qualify for a like native languages scholarship that existed at University of Oregon, since I spoke Italian around the house growing up, and that was an interesting niche that I didn't know existed. There was just like a general study abroad scholarship called Geo Abroad, but these are usually specific for universities. So I would connect with your advisor. It sounds like that's Rachel, and just kind of talk to her about what options you might have and see if those seem like something realistic for you to apply for so that you're spending your time in applications wisely as well.
Yes, and also in the email that I'll send it out to you, I'll include a link to a scholarships page on our website, and there are tons of scholarships everywhere. I actually get emails from people who are like, "Can you please advertise our scholarship?" Um, so it's really neat. And the website that I'll send you in the email is not exhaustive. It's just kind of some examples, and some are very specific. A lot of them are very specific, but you just kind of have to do your research. And the nice thing about scholarships is you can often reuse your essays and that kind of thing to a certain extent. So kind of once you get the hard work done of, kind of writing out your narrative and everything, applying for multiple scholarships, becomes a bit easier. It's great practice.
Definitely, I second that for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.
Great. Well, thanks. That was a pretty good turnout. I'll send that email out. I'm kind of right in the middle of a bunch of things, but I will definitely get it out before the end of today, and I'll send it to everybody who registered. Um, that's my alarm. Which was, let's see now. Yeah, I swear that Zoom is really not reliable sometimes in this sense.
I think the Zoom workplace too is just, I don't know,
Yeah,
hit or
it's like
miss with me.
there's too much going on or something, because I had at least 3 or 4 people email me in this time, and then one guy, he was on the call, and it just wouldn't, it says his email's not valid, and
Oh,
it's a PDX, PSU email, and I tried, so actually added him as one of the hosts,
that's
so.
smart. Yeah.
But gosh, it took me like 10 or 15, and I was ready to call IT and be like, why isn't this working? So, but it looks like, so we had 2 pages, 16 registrants. That's awesome.
I
So,
did notice that there was like a second email that got sent out with a different link, so maybe individuals were mixing up the link. I don't know. Because I clicked on the
oh,
other one first and it said it wasn't valid, and I was like, okay, we'll find another one. So that's why it took me a second. But
oh, yeah,
maybe,
that could be. I know, because I had the same thing happen, but then it said both were invalid, and then it
oh,
had me, but it said, would you like to what did it say? Like reinstate it or something? So, I don't know.
well, that's
Um,
okay. We'll do some more stuff as well in the future because the deadline's in March, so we have a little bit of time coming up.